Hey, it's Adler from FM 102.1. Backstage night 3, the biggest damn night of the all three of them because we got a lot of bands and because it's All American Rejects. Hi, fellas.
Yes, we're the cake topper.
You are the cake. You are the cake topper. You're the dessert and the cake topper. All right. I had the weirdest rabbit hole thing. This is not music related, but I'm like, Stillwater. I go, Stillwater, Oklahoma. I go, there's something I know there, and this might have been late 90s, early 2000s. Eskimo Joe's. Is that still open?
As far as I know, yeah.
All right. They sold T-shirts in the back of Rolling Stone, and forever, to this day, I don't know how a bar in Stillwater just sold T-shirts, and apparently they did really well.
I always heard
They
it
were
was
like
one of the best-selling in the world.
It was the third best-selling shirt, only behind Disney
Rock.
World and Hard Rock.
Holy shit! Really?
That's what I heard.
Okay.
Hard Rock. No. Was it the Hollywood?
Planet Hollywood.
Planet
Hollywood, London. It was something like that. Something random.
Really?
I remember, people, they would spout this
And
shit
just
off.
for years, I'm just like, I'd see people at Eskimo Joe's, and I'm just like, I don't know if that's my tent pole for Stillwater, Oklahoma, except for you guys. Those are the two things I know.
No.
Most people like Stillwater, like the band from Almost Famous.
That's the other
like,
one, I
Yeah,
think.
sure. They named our town after
Yeah.
a movie that came out in 1999. No, but that's funny.
What's the
That's a good
guy's
reference.
name who started Eskimo Joe's? Sam.
Stan Lee.
Stan Lee.
He created everything.
He also makes cameos at the bar.
I think
Just
it's
pops
Stan
up.
something. I don't know.
Whoever he was, he started this in the 80s. And,
Okay.
And it obviously quickly grew into some sort of ridiculously
Like culty kind of thing.
big thing for
Yeah.
our town. But he was kind of like a hippie dude, and I remember my parents being like, "Oh, he used to have parties in the 80s with the cocaines," which is scandalous for Stillwater, Oklahoma. Man.
I was gonna say, I don't know why I remembered it, and then it took me. I went down a weird rabbit hole of click, 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 and next thing you know, I don't know why, and I don't know how you get a budget. Like putting an ad out in Rolling Stone in the '90s probably was not a cheap venture.
That's wild.
That's how I remember it. Spin, very smart.
And they're popular for their onion burgers, which I'm now seeing on menus around the country. They're called
Jesus.
Oklahoma onion burgers.
Yeah.
Meaning it's just an onion.
Just like.
Well, they just
no,
chop up onions and mix it in with the meat.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like a meatloaf
And
burger.
they came up with Jesus.
They didn't come up with it, but they're very popular.
They've
for
popularized
it.
it. I don't know why and it got stuck in my head. I'm like, well, I can't start an interview talking about a goddamn bar in Oklahoma.
Absolutely
I'm like,
you
yeah, I
can.
can.
This is all I want to talk about.
Because it's not going to leave my brain otherwise. I don't know. You guys are probably
No, we should bootleg that shit on the merch and put just the reject.
just what.
That's
How have we not done that?
You realize you just started.
Thank you. Thank
We're
you.
gonna make.
I'll
that
have
shirt.
it.
Oh,
2X. Yeah,
that's
let's start
great.
printing them now.
And we could put ads in Rolling Stone for it.
And then
That would be so fucking
Suckers.
awesome.
We're coming for you, Joseph.
you're like he just countersues and it doesn't work.
We just do a cease and
I
desist.
just-
We're like, cool.
If I had him to ask him, like, why the hell did you just print out T-shirts and decide to make it's like it worked because we're talking about it 20, 30 years later.
You still see them
So
flying in, overseas. You'll be like, is that a fucking Eskimo?
you're like, where? Yeah.
I still get one every Christmas.
Do you?
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yes.
they still in
They have
Oklahoma
Christmas
City,
ones,
the
too.
mall. There's like a seasonal store that opens in the mall. That's
Really?
just Eskimo Joe stuff. And you can get Christmas Joe shirts.
So why are you guys at a band getting B-listed behind Eskimo Joe's now?
Where's
It's like,
all
why is
our
there-
mall store for the season?
Yeah.
All right, good. I'm glad I'm not insane, and I'm glad I wasn't making that up, and
not at all.
it's confirmed.
It's
It
real.
does exist. It's
Well,
not just lore.
No, nobody's. Is anybody? Are you guys still living in anywhere in Oklahoma, or you're all moved all over the place?
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Okay,
Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City. All right. So
Them
okay,
two,
so
not
you're-
so much.
Because I don't want you guys to get too much heat. If you do this plan, I don't want,
No,
a guy with that kind of money probably has connections, and somebody shows up at your house, and they're
The Eskimo Mafia is
The
gonna be
Eskimo
coming,
Mafia.
coming straight for us, buddy.
If we show up to this show next year dead, then yeah.
there are ghosts in this building, but
Yeah, see?
Or
Looks
we
like
just
he
get
choked
invited.
on onion rings.
Eskimo Mafia TV shows
get a
might be
private-
the new favorite subgenre of TV shows.
We get a private invitation for one of his holiday parties.
Holiday
and
party.
One of his-
We
There.
get there and there's
Do you
just
think
coke everywhere, and
and-
he's like wearing a bathrobe.
Your
with
mom's
fucking
like,
his
"See?"
dick hanging out, and he's like, "So I see you guys. Think you're funny guys, don't you? You guys like making those shirts, huh?" Fucking just pulls his dick out even more. What are you
Oh my
looking at my
God.
dick, son?
It's,
What are you looking at my dick?
it's Giuseppe Eskimo ready, the crime boss.
Guys in parkas and guns right behind him, just a whole line of them. You're like, Eskimo Mafia is just such a great. The Sopranos
great
with like North Country are kind of like a snowy.
There was an Italian Eskimo Joe's called Giuseppe's.
I worked
and
there.
I was
Really?
saying, didn't you work there
Yeah.
for a minute?
I
Oh
bust
my
tables
God.
at Giuseppe's.
There's also Mexico Joe's. They had a whole
you-
empire.
oh, same
in
guy?
Stillwater.
That's what I mean. He
Same guy.
Yeah, he fully
Oh.
like had a run on the city.
And then there was a seafood place called Stillwater Bay. But believe it or not, the seafood restaurant in Oklahoma did not last. He closed
A
that one down.
landlocked state.
Would
with
you say
seafood.
it's sleeping with the fishes?
Oh,
That's where it is now.
Eskimo Joe's.
Full circle.
I don't know why I can't unwrap the idea of him in a robe with nothing else
I
on,
know, I know.
threatening
I
you.
like, I like the fact that he's just like
With like
lost
a
it.
with a table in front of him with all the coke, and it's his
He's
dick's just visible.
just
It's always snowing.
retreating into his body.
4 chairs pop up from the floor. You're all sitting down, and you all get fucking strapped to it. You're like, this was a horrible idea.
And then
Listen,
he just stands up, and so our face height is just here. And so the whole time he's like, just making us uncomfortable talking. Be like, so what do you guys do? Were you staring at my dick?
we're
Sorry.
not locked into this idea of stealing your T-shirts,
We're just
but it
gonna
was
start
just
a
a thought.
podcast about the theories of Eskimo Joe's. That's all this is gonna be. It's a
I-
total separate episode.
It really is. I don't know if we have any more time to talk about music at all. I feel like I just want to give you money for this business venture, and then I'll visit you in 3 months. We'll just meet there, maybe behind the Eskimo Joe's, because I don't.
We'll send you a shirt.
Send me. I'll send you a check. You send me
That's a mail
what would
order.
you do with that? I don't know how. Let's see. Eskimo Joe's, 2 words, All American Rejects. I mean, you can.
I would just keep Eskimo Joe's and then under it put the All American Rejects and make it look like we did it together.
Presented by Eskimo.
We'll just have to misspell.
We won the
Joe.
Battle of Bands
Yes.
as a two-piece
J-H-O.
at Eskimo Joe's.
When? How long?
This was literally like 8 months before radio started playing Swing Swing. We were still like a two-piece,
Really?
and we played
We played Eskimo Joe's.
Eskimo Joe's,
you
and we
won?
won the Battle of Bands against some bands.
Well, what
So-
was great is that like there wasn't really a scene in our hometown, but there was
Yeah.
a couple college bars that we could play at.
Okay.
Eskimo Joe's that was like playing the Madison Square Garden of Stillwater.
Stillwater.
Oklahoma. And they would never let us play there. The only way we actually got to play there was by entering the Battle of the Bands, and we fucking won it. I totally forgot about
And
that.
all those like bands were so fucking pissed
Yeah.
because we
Really?
were just a two-piece with a drum machine at the
Yeah.
time, and
Were
yeah.
they like regulars?
They were just like Skinnered.
Yeah.
It looked just like a bunch of dudes who like could probably sit on us and kill us.
It's like the band in School
Hair
of
down to
Rock
here.
that won the Battle of the Bands.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
a bunch of
okay.
those guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we were just like shitheads, like coming like, in high school. being
Yeah.
like,
And I think we came back and played there like once, like had our own show there, and then never went back again after that.
Wow. So there's a lot of lore. I
You
didn't
just
think I was
unearthed
going to
it.
unearth all
yeah,
this. I just.
honestly I hadn't thought about this.
since-
It was in
God
the
knows
back
how
of my
long.
brain, and it was only because Stillwater came up, and I know everybody's like, it's the band from. No, it's not that. You're like that was. But I'm like, I know Stillwater. I'm like, that's it, Eskimo Joe's, and I remember seeing the white T-shirts, and I think in college I might have bought one or somebody bought one, because that's
everyone fell.
the
to
back of Rolling Stone
Yeah.
is where you bought term papers that were already done, and they would fax it to you.
Holy shit!
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is.
You use that?
Oh, yeah.
service?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think I can take my. Nobody's gonna take a comm degree away from me. You're like, it was legitimately. It was like $7 a page, and they faxed it to you.
That's
I used the
amazing.
college radio station.
That's
It all came out
amazing.
about John Milton. So the back of Rolling Stone to me was as important as the content of it.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that was. So that's. I don't know why, and I don't have any kind of photographic memory whatsoever. There's just things in my brain that should be used for how to balance a checkbook, do your taxes. It's filled
Things
with.
that you would have learned in school.
It's filled with. Is that bar real in Oklahoma that the T-shirts were made? And
Yes.
They made a bar out of that T-shirt.
True.
How big was? What was the stage like that you guys played?
It was terrible.
It was a
Literally-
shitty, a shit bar.
floor.
It was literally like the breezeway. Like
It was the
where
Oh, really?
If a band wasn't playing, it's where you would sit and wait for your buzzer to go off. wait for your table. No
Yeah.
shit.
So it
was
wasn't even
not
like the double
accommodating.
deuce bar where you had like chicken wire over it and cool.
Oh, no.
That would have been so
Wow,
so
it was
fun.
an afterthought.
Yeah, absolutely.
How old is this Joe guy right now? Are we in a lot of trouble?
I don't fucking know.
Okay,
Who cares?
I'm a little concerned about my safety. You guys are fine. You're mobile.
Yeah.
You
Well,
could be
on
on
the
the
move.
be on tour and they'll never know.
Dude, if you hide in this building, he'll never find you.
No, you'll never find it. Do you guys believe in ghosts? If Joe's dead, okay.
Oh, yeah.
If Eskimo Joe's dead, I just throwing this out there. There's allegedly ghosts in this building in the pool downstairs.
That's okay. We heard the story like 20 years ago. I want to know now if this is true. What's the story?
What, the swimming pool?
Yeah.
It's an empty pool.
Yep.
You guys will see it, and
Yep.
you already haven't seen it already.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's as far as I know. Here's what I've seen myself, and this was 3 years ago. They did kind of an open tour during the holidays, right around now, and I had a good camera, and I rested on the railing, and I pointed it down, and I did kind of 6 quick succession pictures, and one of them had a glowing ball like in the pool. The other 5 did not. That one did.
Okay.
So I have photographic evidence of an entity, whether it's a ghost or whatnot, but it was like, and I held it still, so it's not like nothing, and nobody was in it. We were all just kind of hanging on the periph, and
Is there like an incident that occurred?
I
down
don't
there?
think so.
Okay.
But just, I mean,
it's just old as hell.
obviously some of the autographs are of people that are no longer living, and it was, there isn't like one murder kind of thing in there or anything. It's
Okay.
just, it's over 100 years old, and there was,
Gotcha.
I do know somebody called the station one time and said their grandfather was a member there when there was water in the swimming pool, and dude swam naked. Like, it was open, like 1930s and 40s. Dudes are just swimming naked.
Old guys still do that now. When you're in a locker room, like at the
Yes,
gym, they
yes.
just get naked and walk around. Like, what is the? Is that going to happen to us? Are we going to hit a certain age?
Yeah.
Or is there like a cutoff? Like, did people just stop doing that in like 1990? You know what I mean?
Or old guys peer pressured by other old guys to go, sell the clothes there, bud. And you're like, get naked. Let's talk about our houses in Florida.
Yeah.
That's literally what happens at the gym I go to. It's 2 old guys that are very tan and have houses in Florida, and I always get stuck in the same group of lockers, and they're naked just talking. I don't know. What's the tour
You think
bus
they
situation?
gave each other handos in the deep
I
end?
don't know.
Like, I wonder if that's like an old-timey,
Kind of.
see you at the deep end of Eagles.
You see?
Raj, swim
Hello,
over to
my
the end,
baby.
and I'll give you a handy. You're like,
Stay in the shallows, my boy. It's your first time.
guys just reading the paper, floating, getting a squeezer from his buddy
It was a saltwater pool, so everyone was quite buoyant.
before they go back to the office and work on the depression.
They just fishnetted off.
That was probably a job. So yeah, maybe those guys' ghosts are there. So if you feel something in your pants, maybe it's Roger's buddy that was giving him a squeezer in the pool, and he thinks he should be doing that.
I
haven't
mean,
seen you around the
show
club
me a
before.
public pool
That
that
hasn't. Yeah.
no one's drowned in.
Yeah. It doesn't happen.
You know what I mean? I feel like we're selling a ghost story, but really it's like, hey, guess what? It's a public pool.
You're like, it's every story. It just
Somebody
yeah.
probably died here.
Guarantee fucking to
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
If it was a public pool, yep, some little bastard got stepped on. You know what I mean? Jimmy didn't come up. Well, public pool.
No.
Fucking sign your life away.
There's yeah. Pop down there and just see if you get a feel for anything.
Grandpa Pop passed out in the deep end at the Eagles. No, not again.
It's a memorial.
They had to put signs up for the handos. You get all worked up at that age. Blackout.
His urn just floating in the swimming pool. Everybody's kind of 21 gun salute because he's probably.
That's where you want to be.
The reason the pool's empty is because they had to fucking drain it every week. They're like, God damn it, again! Look at that. It looks just like a nest of aliens, like just soaked at the end of Cocoon.
Egg drop soup. Just peed.
The head eagle's like,
cigarette butts and egg drop soup.
we're fucking done with this pool. Drain it.
What do we do with it? Tell them there's ghosts in it, and let's never speak of this again.
Seriously.
All these angry old guys.
The people
Where
at
am I
the
supposed to get
rave.
my hand jobs now? This is. I'm all pent up.
Go across the street, room 216.
If nobody can tell, this is the last show of the year.
That's well, that's one of the few music questions I did have. Is this is your last show, right?
It is.
Yeah.
You're
Home
done.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Hanging up our hats.
Are you gonna? Until when?
Until new music arrives.
Oh, is that on the horizon? Is it?
We hope so.
Being bantered
Shit.
about?
Yeah, no, I mean, the last 2 years have been kind of a really eye-opening experience for us, you know, like we left tour in really touring the way we did in like 2012, the way that we were hard on it. Like we were.
Like 300 shows a year, that kind
Oh,
of
really?
Yeah, so we like took that down significantly since then, and it was just kind of like going into this kind of sunset kind of cruise into state fairs and wine festivals, and then this festival called When We Were Young invited us to play, and it was like this weird
Enormous
experience for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were on a side stage. Paramore was playing, and Death Cab for Cutie was playing, and we had the crowd, and it was bizarre because we're the Rejects, and we don't expect much for ourselves.
Come on.
No.
That's not
We
true.
wear it as a badge of honor, and so yeah. After this year, it's been like a really. It's crazy. We like got down to Brazil for the first time, and there's these big crowds, and we played the UK for the first time in a decade, and it felt like shows we'd never got before.
Yeah.
Like it felt like 22 years later we're finally
Like a time machine that you just kind of came out of and you go, well, this is the old dream board we had up, and it's coming to reality now. But
Yeah.
it's just late. You're like,
No, yeah, really. Like we just kind of went away for 10 years and came back and got to like start over, but like bigger than ever. Like the shows. I mean, we did our first headlining tour in over a decade last year, and it was bigger than any other tour we've ever put on in our whole careers.
wow. Would you want to, or is it already planned to do a 20th anniversary of Move Along all the way through, or do you kind of feel like
I think that's really lame. I think bands do it, announce that shit after the fact because their ticket sales aren't good enough. And I think it's really grabbing at the purse strings of people who, I'm sure a lot of people just want to see that record, but like, it feels like a cash grab, and I feel like we do this because we love it.
Yeah.
Like, we've been fortunate enough to, we've never been the band with like, we don't have nicknames for our fans. Our fans aren't called like the Reject Skittles.
the Reject Skittles?
People that liked our band were
Yeah.
people that, happened to be in the open air at TGI Fridays, or were attached to a certain era of their life where that wasn't the biggest scene in pop back in the day.
Yeah.
So now that it's kind of flopped over with time, people that maybe weren't allowed to come out and see the band that said Hell.
Yeah, because they were
because
10
they're-
or 11 or whatever, and now
they're
now
coming
they're
out
30s.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I feel like doing a 20th anniversary tour for a Move Along or something like that feels like we're belittling whether or not we want to do something more.
It's a little, I don't know, restricting, isn't it, too? I mean, wouldn't you, by the 10th show, wouldn't you be like, just between all of us, guys, I'm kind of sick of this. It doesn't give you any liberty to do anything spontaneous.
I think out of our 4 records, I think only one of them have we played every song on the album. You know what I mean? Like, we're proud of every record, but there's a reason that we haven't played certain songs off of certain records.
Yeah.
Like, maybe we just didn't feel like it, or they don't translate well live, whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, we certainly want to honor Move Along because it was an important record. It was
incredible.
As a whole body of work. It's been our most successful thing. But yeah, I think everybody's just doing these album plays, and it was cool. Like when they were few and far between. Like I remember seeing the 20th anniversary of that first Third Eye Blind record where they did that. Yeah. But obviously that band probably didn't play anything from side 2 of that record for the last 30 years. So that was great. But I don't know. I feel like now it's just so congested. Everybody's doing it.
Well, and also I think as a fan, if I'm going, I would actually rather see you guys do. You're like, holy shit, they haven't done that. I've never seen this song live, as opposed to, well, I know what track's coming up. It's track 7 off of Move Along. You're like, right. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, come back for track 9. You're like, totally. It becomes kind of like, you don't want it to be numeric. You want it to do the spontaneity. The spontaneity is the fun part. That's the
a show has a life. A record has a life, and it's a completely different life.
And it's kind of scare people.
That's actually true. And you know what? I went and saw Jagged Little Pill. Was it 30th anniversary?
Yeah.
And she ended up playing every song from that album, but it was like
not in order.
It was
not sequential.
It was in a set with all the other songs that you want to hear. You know what I mean?
Because I think
cool.
I think Green Day did them all in order this summer.
Yeah.
So you could, if you're like didn't love the end of the album, so I'm gonna go You know,
Right.
grab
They're on
some
side
beer.
B. Cool. I'm gonna go get some.
Yeah,
dinner.
as opposed to I don't think that's the goal of the band is to make somebody not want to go to the bathroom, but
It actually is.
but actually,
We expect them to wear diapers at our shows.
just go hold your piss. You're just like,
Yeah.
no, that's good to know because I agree with you guys. I just think as a band it feels restricting. Probably fun, especially some of the songs maybe you don't play. But again, if you're going to hammer on a tour and you're talking 20 or 30 shows in, that's going to be,
Yeah.
you know.
That doesn't sound fun.
Yeah. So when we were young festival, wasn't it like 100 degrees? My parents lived in Las Vegas, so I know it was
That
not
year?
That one was
September, October,
It was.
Well, we did it. This was 2021.
21.
That
Yeah.
was 22.
Sorry.
And it was okay. We played at night after sunset. But last year we played on Fremont Street, and it was 110, 115
Yeah.
degrees at 10 p.m.
Ugh.
It was rough.
Even for Oklahomans, that's hot.
Yeah.
You're like even
For humans, that's hot.
Yeah.
for the human body, it is.
Yeah, we were in that like tunnel of Fremont Street where there's
Yeah.
just no air circulation. It was
Oh,
great show though. We had a blast.
It's a fun area. It is. Anything tonight that you want to kind of do a little different because it is the final show? Anything you're gonna or
I
have
mean,
you not?
the last couple of nights we've changed up the set list quite a bit.
I was looking at the last 3 shows. They're not very similar at all, which is
Hell yeah.
good. Again,
and again, it's also because like it's the last show of the year, and we're like we could just phone it in and just like do the same old thing,
yeah.
and then just get to go home tomorrow. But I don't know. It's fun to throw a couple new songs in there, a couple different songs in there.
Yeah.
Different order.
Exactly.
Yeah. It keeps us on our toes until the very last fucking day. You know what I mean?
That's what I want. I don't want to know. I don't want to know anymore. Like I said, as a fan, I don't want to know anymore. So I'm not going to pressure anymore.
Sweet.
I want to get you guys some rest before you take the stage. I almost want to apologize for the beginning of this.
That's all I'm
interview,
gonna be thinking about.
But I'm
all
guessing
night.
this is going to haunt your memories for a long time. And
Not at all.
maybe I'll buy a shirt. I'm sure I can get it. God, now you can just get it online. I don't have to go in the back of a magazine anymore. I'm old. You know?
They'll fax you a shirt.
If you're ever in a thrift store in around Oklahoma or
Are
in the
they
States,
everywhere?
Oh, you'll find
Are
them.
there
there, you know?
thousands of them? Just
Yeah.
like every theme, every color? Do they probably mix it up with the holidays? Good.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, again, ladies and gentlemen, from Stillwater, Oklahoma, All American Rejects.
I thought you were
Joe's.
about to say it from Stillwater, Oklahoma, Eskimo Joe's.
Eskimo Joe's.
For Joe's.
I feel like I'm in enough trouble already. I will be dead in a pool. That pool. Probably by, tomorrow.
We'll be looking for you down there.
Just bring
Your
some
floating
Windex
orb.
You're
with the egg drop.
He's in a better place now.
Love you, Grandpa.
That's where we leave it.
Love you, Grandpa. Hand job.
That sounds like a Christmas character, Grandpa Hand.